That was entirely intentional. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful, isn't it?
Doing shopping for presents or something?
No, we were just shopping. Okay, so we were trying to spy on a gig, and as a result of that, we had to kind of look inconspicuous and shop for random things at random thrift stores. And we found lots of cool things like a magnifying glass to make Mom's mouth look huge. And it was a lol moment.
Okay.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm about to do some super important business. This is my job that I get paid for. There you go. Just make sure I'm not accidentally doxing you. Okay, good. Your number's not in here. You're good. You're fine. Welcome, everybody, to Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day, day 684. Had some technical difficulties yesterday and had even more technical difficulties the 3 days before, which is why this is my kind of semi-coming back party, all right? So, you know, blow some, what are they called, streamers? Blow some streamers for me. Because, who just notified me? Get out of here. Who is this? Get out of here. Not important right now. Not a priority. All right, good evening, JLJ and James Bell. Hey, Brian, and because I know E-Man might be looking over your shoulder, very likely I'm going to say, hey, James Bell and E-Man. We have a big day today, all right? I have to get this stream up and going again. It's an 8.5 out of 10, by the way. So, I'm thinking, by the way, James, because you're watching and listening, I might do some things where I might, for no pay at all, because I realize people just like playing, and I keep forgetting that I don't need to feel guilty for just getting people to play with me. I'm going to, like, invite people over to my garage. James, you're invited. I need to find bassists that can actually come over consistently. I have options. So, I want to do, like, some random little jam session things. That's a really necessary thing if we want to get better. And I'm not just going to rely on Mesa College classrooms and Ian Tordella's kind heart just to get us to do that. Oh, speaking of which, I'll say this publicly on the internet because I want to put out a good impression. Ian Tordella is officially invited to do a gig with me. So is Thomas Meyer. Thomas Meyer has accepted my invitation. So, you know, Thomas Meyer, Brian Meyer's son, long hair, goatee, super sexy fingers that he's going to use to play that keyboard. I want him to use those fingers for money, and he said he's totally down. So either at some point later on this month or earlier this year, we're going to start doing gigs with him and maybe Rogelio. E-Man's in Mexico. Damn, he finally escaped. Okay, that's good. Good for him. Well, I hope he comes back because I want to do more gigs with him. I know he's probably doing, like, what's the Spanish version of skate jazz? Skato Jazzo. All right, that's terrible. But, oh yeah, hey, bye, Dad.
You should clean this.
No, I know. Well, the cats will clean it up for me, though.
I don't know.
Dude, every single time that thing dispenses, they jump for it.
This dish thing here that got knocked out.
Right. Well, who put the stupid, like, cat scratcher thing right here? It's like, I literally, like, the chair can't even move. My left leg is going to have to be like this.
I mean, we have to move things around. So.
Well, I'm moving things around, too, away from my footrest. All right.
When you make a mess, you also have to clean it up.
Right. I'll get a broom after the stream. Okay. Piece number 1. Let's get it down. God. It's a little rough getting back into it. It takes a little bit of time. Well, how are the two of you doing? Give your scores out of 10. And I want complete and full honesty. Is E-Man your brother, James Bell? The opposite. They are like reverse ethnicities, like reverse body type, reverse everything. Reverse instruments played. They have like similarities, I guess, but like if you met them in real life, I would never assume that they are siblings because they're not. But okay. Piece number 2, small piece because we're dividing this next little segment into 2 pieces. Jesus, excuse me. Okay, we're going to do piece number 3. But yeah, James, I really hope to potentially do some jam session stuff because I think practicing's fine. practicing with a backing track on my Apple earbuds, which are like really old and the quality of audio is really bad and it's not good to practice to. That's fine and dandy and all that. However, anybody on the internet who wants to actually do a jam with me, I like, dude, strength in numbers. I do not care how few or as many people, as long as we get more than like 3, then we're fine. And we have a bassist. Very important, because without a bassist, things are formless, all right? Drumming, it's cool and all, but you cannot, it does not have as much of a foundation as you think it would. Without a bassist, things kind of go nowhere. So, my address, DM me for it in the private messages. I will figure out a way for us to arrange some shit in my garage, and we can do stuff and potentially prepare to do gigs. Like, get ideas, arrangements, and stuff like that. I know this sounds like ambitious, and I'm going to give up on it later, but I won't. Okay. When you get people in a date, I'll do it. Excellent. And then 10 out of 10. Finished all remaining assignments for the semester today. Mathematically improbable, but I still love it. JLJ17. It's not impossible, though. Some people at Pizza Port, when I'd ask them how good their pizza was, they'd give an 11 out of 10. Excuse me. No, that's not how it works. You can't just feign enthusiasm and feign that 11 is a real number on a 10 scale. Fucking idiots. Like, I know they're being nice and all that, but if you're being nice, at least do so while being mathematically accurate. Fucking idiots. Have you ever tried playing duo with Esri? That's like one of the situations where Esri can get a preset that's like basically a bass. So I can get away with doing that. So maybe with the keys player we could scrape by. Maybe. But otherwise, even with Esri and he could do a bass line, nothing will substitute for an actual bassist. So that's my one standard. I do not care what happens around that. But if we get like an actual bassist, then we're good. And I'm inviting, like, everybody. Like, your friends, E-Man, Dom's friends, Max, and all those other guys, and other people from, like, Mesa College, all that shit. Every avenue. I want to get a bunch of people. So, I mean, if I can invite people to my garage for a random unpaid thing, then I should invite people over to a gig, you know, to do, like, maybe a jam after or during the gig. Would give me less stuff to do. Would give all of us, the main band, less stuff to do, and it'd make it more fun, you know? But I just haven't committed to doing that level of networking yet. Maybe I'll work my way up to that. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, let me educate you, Grasshopper, on what my ranking meta is. So we're using the inverse square law of averages. So the further away we are from the average, the exponentially more unlikely that score is going to be. So the way I like to think about it is anything at a 6 or a 4, right? Because that's one digit away from 5. That's maybe like 60% probability. But when you get to a 7 and a 3, we're going up to like 80% probability. And by the time you get to an 8 to a 2, that shit that like anything in 8 or above or a 2 or below is like in the 95th percentile. Very unlikely. So because of that, we're going to get a lot of boring days with middling scores, and I know that often I put 8s, which is, I'm trying to be optimistic in life, so obviously my scale needs some adjusting, and that's also why I don't have faith in my own scoring abilities, and you shouldn't either, but when I actually commit to this, and you're going to see a lot of boring, middling scores, over time I hope to inflate the value of a good score like this, because to be honest with you, my score was not really an 8.5 out of 10. It was more along the lines of maybe solid fucking 7.0. So, you know, just crossing the line. Oh, shit, that's the wrong thing. Wait, how do I... Okay, no, it's clearly not it. There we go. This was my day. So, what do you mean unlikely? Well, I'm not saying just at that score, like anything above or below it, like in relation to 5. So, okay, I don't need to do the polar opposites thing. You know how it works. You know it'll work in the opposite direction. Anything a 6 or above, 60% likelihood, right? Or no. Everything 50% or above, 50% likelihood. Anything 60% or above, 75% likelihood. anything a 7 or above, 80% likelihood or something like that. We're estimating, by the way. Calm down, all right? Don't be too mathematically accurate on me. Excuse my language. And then 8 or above, 95th percentile, 9, 99th percentile, 10 out of 10, like 99.9999, repeating, like maybe 11 nines. The events of the day are unlikely, so I'll get a higher score. Yes, but not too high, all right? Remember, we have to keep in mind magnitudes. So don't get too high, literally, and mighty, potentially, literally, just because you had an unlikely event happen to you. I mean, how much of an increase in the quality of your day did that unlikely event cause? Like, because maybe it's like, maybe you had like 3 bouts of diarrhea in one day. Unlikely, but does it make your day better? Maybe not. Did you win the lottery? Different thing, I guess. Okay. Excuse me. All right, we got 5 people in this live stream right now. Hello. I'm thinking I'm going to do longer live streams in the future, maybe, but for the time being, right now, I'm so lazy. Like, I'm so interested in ending the stream as soon as possible, but we got more shit to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be more slow with it, so maybe I can interact with people. So all you silent... Oh, wow, it just dropped from 5 to 2 just like that. All right, I take it back. I think those were probably all bots. Like, I wonder how many times a bot has come onto the stream and commented some sort of spam link for me to click that'll give me a Trojan worm, and it ends up just getting filtered out by YouTube because these accounts are stupid, and YouTube knows how to get rid of spam things like that. Call YouTube any slur you want, but at least they know how to do that right. So. And it dropped from 2 to 1. All right, James Bell left. I'm going to assume it was him, you know. Not to say that one person's more dedicated than the other, but I know James Bell, he's got a curfew. I cut my finger in half, so I will move the score to an 8. Well, good for you. You cut your finger in half. You mean up to an 8 or down to an 8? Oh, 10 out of 10. Okay, I see. You cut your finger in half. You and your upper limb injuries, you keep doing it. Well, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll totally, I really want to see you in person again so I can actually see your arm and your finger. Like, with all the injuries you've described getting to me, you're probably so fucked up by now. But whatever. I'll see you when I see you. Remember, man, you don't need to worry about, like, I know you're a hermit and all that. I know that's, like, your character trait, but, you know, if it's some sort of nervousness or something like that, like, dude, I'm really, really lame in real life. Like, I suck. So, you don't need to worry about, you know, me having standards or something like that, or me being unimpressed by someone. Like, that's, and by the way, people have actually said that to me, like, in real life, which is really strange. So, don't worry. Like, it's going to be a lot less awkward than you think in real life. I hope. I know our interactions in pop culture, like when you were watching me say stuff in pop culture, I know that was awkward, but oh, someone's calling me. Hello, Emerald, what's up?
Bro, you are fucking gay. Bro, shut the fuck up. I fucking hate you.
Okay. All right, so thing number 1, I have 2 parts to my response to that. I'm going to do an impression that's going to be in a response to that. Bro, fuck you. You are gay. Fuck you. There we go. That's part 1. Part 2, you're on the paper stream right now, and that was broadcast to a bunch of people. So I'm going to, I did the part 1 to kind of bring myself down, all right? So we both did Indian person impressions to 3 people on the internet. It's all good. I'm totally going to clip that and post it later, by the way.
Alright.
Also, what are you doing right now? What's going on? Are you playing pinball? What is this?
I wish I was. No, I'm at James's event, but I've been waiting outside for like the past 30 minutes waiting for him to come back to his stuff finally, so I don't have to just stand outside in the cold laughing at stupid memes and wishing I could go, bro, do not show your face in los pollos hermanos again.
Is that stuck in your head? Is that actually still stuck in your head?
Yes, it fucking is.
You are done. Fired. Do not show your face in the laundromat again. If you resist me and my cock, I will fuck your wife. I will fuck your son. I will fuck your infant daughter. Did that actually stick in your head from that stupid bit I did?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, James is here now. I'm gonna
realize
pretend
I
to hang up
wasn't
on you
sober when I did
scarily.
that.
All right, I gotta talk to you later. Bye.
All right, goodbye. For fuck's sake. Such a dumb bit. I think it's because I was not sober when I did it, and so I was just rambling, and I did the Gus freaking. You are done. Fired. Do not show your face on the laundromat again. If you ever resist me and my throbbing cock, I will fuck your wife. I will fuck your son. I will fuck your infant daughter. Why is that girl trying to be Persian? It's just all terrible accents. I think Emerald was trying to do an impression of my impression of Gus in that one scene. I'm very heavily scarred, but the cut was not that bad. Okay. Do you and Emerald have an entanglement? She posts about you a lot more than James. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. We're getting into it. What does entanglement mean, by the way? Just to clarify what it... Because entanglements has more than one meaning. So clarify explicitly, Caden, what entanglements means, and then I will honestly answer your question. What's up? Want me to incriminate myself publicly on the internet? Sure. I'll bite, and I'll tell you what I bit. So there was a blunt at the party. There were photos from there, and I do not know what it was laced with, but I'm sure it was whatever the fuck it was. I know what weed smells like, and it's not weed. And I don't do weed normally, only on special occasions, and this was a special occasion. It was a birthday, and it was something in there. And I had some wine. It's all good. I mean, are you guys dating? Hell no, no. James is her boyfriend, and that is final. I am just a very good friend. I have known Emerald longer than she's known James, and we had many a discussion, and I am not interested in a relationship right now. I mean, there have been status changes before and since, right? I mean, I've known her for years, and since I met her, like, I've had things with, like, dates with people and girlfriends. The Paxil thing does not count. I told you about the Paxil thing, right, Caden? Right, because I think I aired out that whole story on the paper stream. I definitely did. There's no way I didn't. But, yeah. I think just the timing of everything was a little weird. So, me and Emerald, like, for one, I like her as a friend, and, like, that's the full extent that I've ever felt about her. And, like, I understand, like, hey, in an alternate universe, I can get entangled with my grandma, but, like, the timing is always weird. So that's the way to think about it. With me and Emerald, the timing was never in the right place, which is completely normal. So we never, you know, had a chance to even ask the question of, like, oh, should we be intimately, or I'm sure we thought about it at some point, and we're kind of like, yeah, it wouldn't work for one, because that's not what I want right now. It's not what she wants right now. We're just going to be very good friends, for one, because I like things not being really awkward and weird, because you know what romance does? It fucks everything up. And especially at my age, people treat romance like it's some sort of, like, role-playing game, like it's an RPG activity. Like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if we called each other girlfriend and... That's what Jasmine did. And look at her now, she's trans. So it's like, my point is that I feel like it deflates the value of a relationship, because a relationship is supposed to be one of the most beautiful, emotionally euphoric, meaningful things in your life. And if you're dumbing it down to just, dude, let's get fucked up together and wiggle our asses and twerk in unison and then just call it a day and then break up a month after we get together. Fuck no, dude. I'm going to choose wisely, all right? I'm not just going to get with somebody just because I happen to be good friends with them and they're the opposite gender of me, or I don't know, I think their ass looks round or whatever, all right? I want to, like, take my time, all right? I'm 20. I got, like, at least 5 more years of life ahead of me. Is this why Jasmine lost motor function? No, she's just mentally ill, like, very mentally ill. And I wish her the best. I wish her the very best, but it's gotten worse. Like, if you look at her account, she, like, has fake tattoos all over, and she's wearing, like, she has hairy legs now, and then she has, like, Birkenstocks on, so when I see her, she has, like, hairy legs in the Birkenstocks, and it makes my head want to explode. It's like who wears that? Who wears that? Answer my question, god damn it, Jasmine. Why the hell would you wear that publicly on a video? Why? So bad. Anyone who wears Birkenstocks can go to hell, except my mom and Raina. They get an exception, but I've been telling them, stop wearing Birkenstocks. Why do people keep wearing those shoes? They look terrible. Right? Aren't they made out of, like, the shit that, like, wine corkscrews are made out of? It's, like, the same material. Why the fuck would you use, like, recycled corkscrew shit to wear on your feet? What the hell's wrong with you? Jeju, who is Jasmine? Explain. She was my quite literally on-again, off-again girlfriend twice. And she, was known for being a character. And when I say character, I literally mean character, because she played a character. And, like... I know that people said that her and I were very similar, except the difference is I personally am opposed to playing characters, and you know I know people can have their reservations about that or have their reservations about me, but like I stick by the fact that I prefer to at least be a little genuine sometimes. She like ran away from genuine interaction, like she'd. You know, and then things kept getting worse, and then she had health complications, like actual health complications, which I will not talk about specifically because that's gross, and also I don't want to be that mean to her. And, you know, because she is quite literally a musical prodigy who is punching under her weight all the damn time, she is a musical mastermind, except for the fact that she no longer practices, like, she's too depressed to practice now. And she's digging herself into this hole, and she, like, refuses to give up this character. And this character first, by the way, if you, like, go back, at the very least, it's, like, broken English, but now it's just 2 letters spam. She's, like, spamming the same 2 letters over and over again. And I do not understand, like, why she's still doing it, because it's gotten to the point where she's segregated out, like, what she really... Because I don't think she wants to play her character anymore. Like, she's saying normal sentences, but then just putting, like, like, 2 letters... just spamming over and over again in between it. Like I could just redact like really specific chunks of letters from your shit and it would just sound like a normal person. So why is she not just being a normal person? So I don't know. She should look into that. Maybe she should like actually look at herself instead of, you know, and instead of solving the problem and actually like seeing, hey, what's wrong with me? She's kept up her character, but then added on top of the Tower of Terror and become trans. The Trans Tower of Terror. Dude, I should write a fucking book. I should write a Dr. Seuss book, The Trans Tower of Terror. But yeah, anyways, I just don't think that she's dealing with this in the right way. And it's like, you know what I think. Anybody who's known me for longer than like a month knows what I think about the trans community and how the vast majority of them, there's a pattern, highest suicide rate, like in human history, like higher than Jews in the Holocaust, higher than enslaved blacks, and I fucking refuse to bind to the narrative like, oh yeah, the reason why that suicide rate is so high is because society misgenders them. Fuck off. That's not even close to what enslaved blacks and Jews in the Holocaust faced. And you're gonna tell me that misgendering someone or keeping them out of a bathroom that's identical to another bathroom that they can use and just fuck off, stop looking at other people's cocks, just go to the bathroom and leave and it'll be fine. You're telling me that predicament is equivalent to being enslaved or being in a gas chamber? I'm telling you. It's pre-existing illness in the noggin. So. Didn't she go to Berkeley, though? How do you go to Berkeley and not play an instrument? Caden, are you retarded? Caden, she plays piano. She's a pianist. That's like her main thing. The reason I met her is... Wait, is there no stream delay? Caden. The reason why I met her is because she played piano. There's, like, videos all over the internet. There's, like, 20 videos. I apologize. You're not retarded. But what you said was really dumb because, like, Caden, she plays the piano. Yeah, no, I'm cooking. Yeah, I'm serving this statement to you on a silver platter. You're retarded. I'm not gonna stand by that statement. But I'm just gonna say right now that she... plays the piano, really good at it. Do not look at her recent clips, by the way. Don't look at those. Those don't represent how talented she is. If you go back, like, 2021, there are videos of her in an auditorium at a school, just going off on the piano, stealing the fucking show, and everyone's fucking clapping. Yeah, she doesn't practice. Well, yeah, but she still plays an instrument. Like, she is capable of playing an instrument. The only time she plays her piano is just when she has her dad film a really bad reel where she's wearing Birkenstocks with hairy legs and she's playing giant steps again. It's because they have mental health issues, like scientifically something's wrong with them. Not in a mean way, though. Yeah, exactly. No, it's not mean. I don't mean any harm. I don't mean any harm towards the trans community, except if they spit on my shoe and tell me that I'm transphobic and I deserve to get off a campus or not go to school or be disengaged from an education program because I have an opinion, which is what people have said to me. I don't have a problem with you unless you do that. Obviously, don't start unnecessary stuff. Like, most people are relatively nice. They just kind of stay in their bubble. It's like, hey, just call me the correct pronouns and we're cool. But, you know, you got to meet me in the middle because I'm not just going to meet you where you stand, you know. I stand one way, you stand in another, and because you're oppressed or whatever, I'm not just going to walk over to your place, all right? I don't care how mentally ill you are, all right? We all got to meet in the middle because I'm not going to further enable. If I'm just going to walk over to you and you don't do any walking, you'll never learn how to walk yourself. You're just going to learn how to stay in the same place and expect everyone to walk over to you. You got to learn to walk places, all right? That'll maybe, just maybe, help your mental illness eradicate itself. Ever thought of that? Hopefully, because if this stupid ass guy on the internet eating paper is like the first one actually conjuring this shit up, then you know it's like gender dysphoria is an actual thing. Oh yeah, gender dysphoria is an actual mental health issue, and the thing is that the trans people claiming that, right? What defines my personal aspect, like I like how you're saying that politics is a circle, but it is in fact a pendulum swing, and if you taste something so sweet or something so sour, sometimes it can taste like the same thing, but if you really go into the chemical properties of what the taste is, you'll notice it's very different composites. So, actually, this is kind of the reverse of that analogy, because the composites might be the same, but the conclusion that I'm reaching is very different. The conclusion that people reach when they say gender dysphoria is real is we're using science to prove that we need accommodation, unconditional accommodation. And I'm saying, hey, science is real, and you 100% have this chemical imbalance in your brain, and we got to deal with it in a better way than just enabling you further. Like, that's like the number one rule in the handbook of how to raise kids, how to deal with mental turmoil, and also how to live your life properly. Just do not further enable. And it's complicated. It's not easy. But a great place to start is to not just say, oh, they're oppressed, therefore we need to respect them unconditionally and just give them what they want. That's not how it works. So no, I think that's not just being far left. That's not, you know, that... come on, Caden, you can't just hit and run. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna, you know, you went so far right that you went left and make a claim, then I rebut it, and then you leave. Come on, bro. Stay right here, all right? I'm not done. So it's like I'm reaching... I feel like I'm not far left. That's not even close to full circle far left when I say, no, deal with your issues in a better way than using identity politics and getting in like a big chunk of society to bow down to your identity politic demands that nobody wants to really follow, but people are scared of social retribution and of perceiving themselves as selfish because they have been convinced. I was in Berkeley, not in California, not in Boston, not Jasmine's college, but the Berkeley here, like Berkeley with like a Y, I think. I don't know. It confuses me if the one with the Y is here. But I went to Berkeley near San Francisco, and that place there was this book, and it was like how to use they them pronouns, and it was like legitimately one of the funniest things I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, it's insane. That book is fucking bananas. So do not read the DSM-IV and look at gender dysphoria. They removed it from exist. Of course they did. You know, it's just like the mask mandate study that Yale did. Yale did a study, and one thing is that if you look at the section where they kept the study there, but they claimed that the article was null and void, but they didn't give a reason why. And I believe it's because of controversy, and they just wanted to devalue. Now, I'm not saying it is, but it's possible that they devalued the entirety of that fucking caliber. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you. It's possible that they devalued that entire study, pardon my burp, because it would just cause too much of a stir. And Fauci's dumbass plan wouldn't work, even though Fauci literally gave an even more telling indicator of his intentions why the fucking leaked email in April of 2020 literally saying, yeah, it is a social placebo, but we're just going to pretend that it's not, and we're not going to say it publicly. You moron. It's not that hard. Don't even email that. Just, like, literally just do, I don't know, a phone call? Like, I don't know. Just whatever you do, just do not admit it's a social placebo, because that just makes you look so dumb. I actually have a better plan. Just don't do the social placebo stuff at all. Like, actually, just tell him to quarantine, and then don't rely on a mask mandate that's going to trick people into going outside and killing themselves, which is what fucking happened, guys. Stop it. Anyway, sorry I'm pissed today. I'm just getting reminded of all my least favorite things. I'm just saying, like, I feel like the trans community would be in so much better of a place if they formed their community off better standards and more healthy ways of coping with it. Like, have you ever heard of this whole, like, be gay, do crime thing? Like, not that I'm cherry picking that out as, like, the only thing. It's like, it's indicative of a bigger thing, but, like, I'm just saying I feel like it's telling of a bigger issue. It's like, and you wonder why the suicide rate is so high in that community. Don't flame me, man. I'm just observing shit. As someone with mental health issues and is currently trying to figure shit out, a big reason shit sucked so hard is because I was constantly feeling bad for myself and expecting people to... No, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how good you feel. And I'm not saying this as a mentally sane person. We're all insane over here. But you're probably, have issues that I've never faced, right? Obviously, we could say in the opposite direction. But, like, I think what's more applicable here is that you've faced stuff that I haven't. And even so, I feel like we can both agree, at least through my experience, and hopefully your experience, that, the less you think about yourself, and the less you keep, vilifying yourself and creating this self-fulfilling prophecy, the more you separate from this, this neurosis of just constantly like, oh, am I good enough? Like, the less you ask that question, the better you become. Like, if you're like, no, don't worry, I totally feel bad for you, Jeju. Don't worry about it. Already did when you came into the paper stream. I knew you had a problem. But, like, when I feel like when you stop obsessing over how good you are, then you become better. So in order to become better, stop obsessing about being better, right? That's what I got. And that's really hard. It's really difficult. I mean, I'm not going to say I've known that, because I don't even know if that theory is correct. I'd like to think it is, and I believe it is right now, at the point in my life that I am. But it might not be, and a long time from now, I might look back at it. But I really feel it's a self-evident truth, at least through my trial and error way of experiencing life, where I have to, and it's so easy for me to think about and obsess over myself. And over the last, like, 3 or 5, no, it's like 3, 4, maybe 5, maybe even 5 years. I think in, like, 2017, I was, like, at peak egoism, and I was really annoying, and no one wanted to be around me. And, dude, I was so, like, lonely, and I really just wanted to interact with as many people as possible. And because I think just in the most subtle ways, it was really obvious that I was neurotic as fuck. Like, everyone picked up on it, and nobody responded to it positively. But the more I've kind of separated myself from that neurosis, and I've kind of, like, and it's really difficult because, like, we have an ego built in all of us, and I'm sure I have a gigantic ego. I always have to go, hey, listen, I have to literally space out. I have to numb my brain and not think about things in relation to myself. And I'm, maybe this is embarrassing because maybe people don't have as much of an issue with this as I do, but, like, I'm happy to say that I don't really have this issue anymore, or it's a lot better, like, significantly better. It pops up every now and then. But in general, whenever I'm thinking, I really think about it as a separate from my being. And that kind of makes my being more present, both externally and even internally, at least subconsciously. So in order to create more of an identity, you need to stop consciously obsessing over your own identity, which is really strange. I do not know why our brains were built that way, and I wish that life was a lot more straightforward, in which we could have our own identities without having to play these mind games with ourselves. I wish I could think about the world in a full scope and acknowledge everything. I wish I could lavish over myself and how I think I am when I'm doing something that I'm proud of, but I can't because then it'll fuck it all up. So I have to stay in the zone. I have to not think about myself because every time I do, something goes wrong. So I don't know. That's my way of thinking about it. I think it's really interesting to think about. Excuse me. But yeah, no, Caden, I think it's really funny because, I mean, he's gone. Don't know. They never tell me who the viewers are, but I never said that gender dysphoria wasn't real. I always advocated for a pro-science stance. So I like how you like, oh man, you're so far gone, man. You went so far right that you're going left. And it's like, yeah, my my position on gender dysphoria being real because of science has been pretty concrete for as long as I've known the gender dysphoria existed. I'm very aware that it's a mental illness and that we should deal with it in the right way, fellas. I am extremely high. Find God. All right, and with that, I'm going to type my thesis out, which is going to be... Also, I want to see if there's any stream delay. Can we, like, do that? Because of science has been pretty concrete. Okay, it's not. Okay, it seems like people are just responding quick anyways. That's really weird. I think that must have been a fucking glitch or something. All right. McBurgerness, no. You came in late. You came in right after we finished the big political discussion, man. All right, well, it's all good. Hey, Ian, if you have made up with Caden, I already called him, and he was with his parents, and, you know, Caden... Oh, here we go. We're not done yet. L take on trans people. Explain yourself. This is my favorite part. Because all you guys agreeing with me in the comments right now, you guys are so boring. So, why do you disagree with the fact that we should approach the trans issue with this mental health issue, right? Step one. We agree that there is a problem with mental health. Gender dysphoria is a thing. Now, call me crazy, but I have heard pretty much 95 to 100% estimated people. Okay, so you're telling me there are people who are telling me that being trans is not associated with having mental illness. A totally separate thing. We're totally misinterpreting. But also those same people, on occasion, tell me that when they are transitioning, I experience severe gender dysphoria. Okay, we're going to another anecdote. I had severe gender dysphoria. That's why I became trans. Okay, here. Why did you become trans? Oh, I have severe gender dysphoria. Okay, well, why did you become trans? You over there in the corner alone by yourself on your Game Boy. Why did you become trans? I was in the wrong body. What do you call that? What's that exactly called? Oh, yeah, it's called gender dysphoria. It's the same thing. It's like, okay, so you're telling me that it's not a mental health issue. So why is this thing that Caden himself said out of his own mouth or his own fingers, because he's typing it, how come he said it is in fact a mental illness, but also we're saying that this thing that is attributed to 95 to nearly basically every single fucking case of someone being trans, how are we not putting one and one together to make two? Because this is a mental health issue. You know, clear, plain and simple. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Glad that we put all the haters to rest. Mental health issue. How do we deal with it? We deal with it by not enabling them. This is a harder part of the conversation to have. Brian, I'm too high. You motherfucker, you entered the cave, all right? And the door's closed, man. I closed the doors of the cave. You're trapped in this fucking debate now, and I'm gonna fucking finish it. It has been proven over and over again with equivalencies to, say, pronoun usage that if you are to further enable behavior like that by just accommodating, if you have two people who will not meet in the middle ground, and one person goes, oh my God, I'm oppressed, you need to walk over to my ground. Oh, okay, I don't want to get vilified by the media. Here I go. Can I be your friend now? I'm so lonely. Oh, absolutely, you called me a zip-zerp or whatever the hell. Or even if you're like she, her, but like obviously is just a man in woman's clothing with like chest hair poking out the fucking bra. It's like, okay, yeah, that's great. You know what's going to happen to this person? If people keep walking over and anybody who says, hey, can you meet me in the middle ground? Fuck you, you're transphobic. This person is basically staying in the same spot for their whole lives. So is this person ever going to learn to walk on their own? I don't think so. I think they're going to stay in the same fucking spot, and I don't think they're going to learn shit about walking. Now, obviously, you can say it's a weak analogy and it has its weak points, but look at how the world's operating. Look at how these people are behaving. I'm seeing a very strong correlation, and I say it's a problem. And I say this out of love for these people. I wish them the best. And by the best, they're not getting their best. They're not achieving what they should with the current care they are giving themselves and other people are giving them. So, yap, yap, yap. Hey, shut up, Ian, and continue being high, all right? Take another hit out of your SpongeBob vape, all right? So, my thesis, actually... it's actually 3 words. 3-word thesis. There we go. All right. Take another hit out of your SpongeBob vape, all right? Learn to walk. There we go. That's my thesis of the day. Thank you so much for watching Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day, day 684. I will see you tomorrow. That'll be day 685. Make sure to live, laugh, cry, and also not die. And until next time, this is goodbye. Let me just wait like 5 seconds and wait for the thing to end. Okay. Bam. Oh, come on, man. You just put. But also, how do you feel about what? AB. What does AB? He retracted it. He got rid of it. Okay, I'm just gonna end the stream now. 3,